Joan, lovely to see you this morning. How was it coming back to St David's for private prayer?
It was lovely, thank you, Ian. I've enjoyed listening to you at home, but today was really special. It's Sunday morning, a beautiful morning. I'm getting up, I'm coming to church, which is a step back to being normal. Isn't it? And what was lovely was seeing some lovely members of the congregation too. It was quite emotional. It was, my heart is still racing, I can feel it now. It's lovely to be back in the church where we've spent so much time together, where I've been since I'm a little girl. I've belonged to this church. And as I sat there quietly, I was thinking of the hymn, "Be still and know that I am God," and that He is with us wherever we are. But no more so than anywhere than in that church. That's where I feel God the most.
Thank you, Joan.
It was lovely to be back.
Right, Jane, you're in St David's this morning. We're open for private prayer. How was that?
Very interesting, different, but it's lovely to get back to church again. And very welcoming, homely. You know, when you go into church, you feel at home. And although things might be different on the outside, the church is still the same, and it was lovely to go in. Very helpful to have the readings for the day. I enjoyed sitting there and just quietly reading. But yeah, it's great to be back, that's all I can say. And although things are different, you know, God has always been the same, still the same, and life goes on. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Jane.
Great opportunity, and I welcome it.
Right, Nigel, you're in St David's for private prayer. How was that?
Different. I think that's the operative word. I didn't know what to expect. I found it rather strange to start with, going in there into a completely, virtually empty church, bar a few seats. But then after about 10 minutes of contemplation, I found that it was a simple, silent sanctity, and I appreciated that. Going back to my childhood, when churches were always very quiet and very silent, I was able, perhaps more, to give up thanks and pray and worship my Father. And it was lovely.
All right, thanks, Nigel. Right, Simona, you've come to St David's for private prayer. How was that?
A bit strange walking in, first of all, to see the lack of chairs and lack of people. There were about 5 people in there when I got there. But I'm glad you warned me about that, because it would have been a total shock had I not been on the Zoom call with you. But once I was there, it was lovely, the soft music, the images you put up on the projector, the leaflets you handed out. It was nice to just sit, and it felt like coming home, really. Nice feeling. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Simona. Cynthia, you've come this morning to St David's for private prayer. How was that?
It was absolutely amazing. Very emotional, but God is there, and He's lifted me up again. I just would encourage anyone. Prayer, with God we can do anything. Without God, without prayer, we can't do anything. God bless.
Right, Chris, you've come to St David's this morning for private prayer. How was that?
I didn't realise how much I missed it. I must admit I hadn't really realised until I came and I saw everybody standing around, and I suddenly thought, this is my family, I've missed them. And then going in, it was strange to see the church as it was, but it was beautiful. All the hard work that had been done to sort of set it out, it was lovely. And sitting there was, well, I can't explain, it was wonderful. It was peaceful. At home you got loads of thoughts. A couple of times I drifted off, but I managed to bring myself back, and it was wonderful. I can't explain how I felt. It was wonderful, and the sort of readings and the little sermon was great. Really made me think. I felt good. I'm so glad I came now. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Chris. You've come to St David's this morning for private prayer. How was that?
I suppose the word to describe it really was serene. As soon as I sat in the chair, I sensed a tremendous relief and care slipping away, forgetting what has to be done in a busy life, but the sense of God's presence really, and the serenity that comes into life when the shoulders drop and you feel comfortable, and that's not been happening for some time, so it was lovely. Thank you, Liz.
Okay, thank you, Norman. Hilary, you've come to St David's this morning for private prayer. How did you find the experience?
Well, obviously I was on my own. It was solitary, but I have to say I really enjoyed it. It was peaceful. You miss other people, but it does focus your mind on why you're here. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I would like to do it again. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.